why are we here? You know why we're here. We were being called upon to find the true Megatron. He's here. I have returned. Huh? That is the one true Megatron? Any questions? Oh, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna leave. Okay. So, how about, have you seen that new JoJo cartoon that sucks?
Welcome to another Transformers Prime review. This time we're looking at the brand new Voyager class Megatron figure. This is from the Revealers line. Revealers? No, Powerizers, because of this new gimmick that they have. But they're still called Voyager class figures. See right there, which I'm still happy about. I thought they're going to be calling this size class Powerizer for now on, but I'm glad they're not. Take a look at him in the box. Now, very surprised that we got this figure so soon, because this figure wasn't even shown at a Toy Fair yet. And same day we saw a test shot of it, it was released in the UK, and now it's here in the US. So very, very surprised we got this so soon. Nice little picture of him, of the spaceship mode here. Very cool looking, and very menacing image of him on this side with his blade. You can see him right there, and all the photoshopped product shots on the back. Another cool picture in the bio on this side. Pretty badass, and of course his tech specs, and also Optimus Prime. I may end up getting this figure, not sure yet. I'm still waiting. I do have a couple first edition Primes coming towards me, so I'm really looking forward to those. But I may end up getting this guy. So that's enough looking at him in the box. Let's check out the figure. So here we have Megatron in his spaceship mode, and this is a very impressive Cybertronian jet mode, as opposed to the animated version for the Voyager class figure, which barely resembled much of anything, and the kind of also random mishmash of parts of the original Leader class movie version. This is like a perfect hybrid between the two. If we just pull back a little bit, you can see how he just has a very movie-esque look, but just pulls it off a lot better than both designs ever did. You can see his head poking out through the top, and his cannon is here on top as well. He also comes with this accessory, which is a claw, which you can attach to the top here, which gives it a okay look, I guess, but I'd rather not use this thing. It does not have any landing gear, so if you just kind of sit down, it doesn't really stabilize on anything. I do not like this Decepticon symbol on the top of the vehicle, though. I may end up trying to remove that, but I'm not sure if it'll take off this kind of wash that's on the rest of the plastic, so I may end up leaving it there. Don't know yet. You can't see what I'm talking about. Let me see if I focus it in a little bit better. If the light shines just right, you can see that there's kind of like brush strokes in the paint, I guess, that kind of give it like a stainless steel look to it, but just in a darker tone, which is really well. It looks great in robot mode as well. You can use his Powerizer gimmick. Pull back this, or actually push in this button. It deploys the sword. You can see the LED light swing around, and doesn't work all that great, but still it works. And you can also take off the cannon if you want, but I prefer to look, I mean, it looks more like a jet this way, but just with the cannon, it just looks very menacing. And out of all the Cybertronian modes for any Megatron figure, this is definitely the best looking, because looks very alien, but you can automatically tell what it is. It has a very creative spin on both the movie and animated Cybertronian jet modes. So that's enough of that. Let's go on to the transformation. Alright, to start up the transformation, first thing I'm going to do is remove the cannon. And then I'm going to detach the wings here, which are actually in... They take a little bit to actually get in, but once they get in place, they actually stick on pretty well. Then detach the legs from this main piece here. Rotate these little pieces out, and this little piece will just swing up a little bit. That will form his cranial region. This whole section here will rotate down. The wing tips will also rotate in, and this section here will click in place, spread open the feet. Here you can see a little bit more of that brushed look it has. Spread open the feet like that. Move to the top. Detach the arms from the inside of these posts right here and separate them. And these will separate, and go ahead and spread this part open. This peg will swivel out like this. And really cool part, zoom in real quick, the Decepticon symbol is not visible in this part, but when you bring this part down, it actually becomes visible. Okay, and this, actually need to get this stuff out of the way. Spread open his arms. Let me zoom back out. This will swing up. These will form the rest of his chest, like so. Rotate his arms around. This part likes to come undone. Undo his hands. Fold out his hands, I should say. And rotate his shoulder pads around. And that is Megatron in robot mode. And here we have Megatron in his robot mode, and I absolutely love this figure. I was a little bit disappointed from initial pictures we saw, mainly due to its size, but I think this figure really makes up for it, because this figure is absolutely amazing. Let's get on to his accessories. First, he does have his fusion cannon, which is his powerizer weapon. It's very bulky, I do have to say. And it's not as accurate as the deluxe class version, but it does have some really cool features that I'm really glad it does. It is kind of weird brown though, which is odd. But when you pull back the trigger, well, it should, and it skipped a gear. It deploys his, I'm just going to take this off because that's really hard to demonstrate. It deploys his Energizer sword, which doesn't form completely every time. I think I might have to actually make it go up a gear to fix that. But, and it does look really cool. Especially when it's on his arm. It's just a shame that, unlike the Mech Tech from Voyager class figures, there's no way to actually lock it in place unless you take out the spring, which I may end up doing, but I'm not sure yet. And the LED didn't shut off that time. And you see the LED light flips around same time, which even when you turn off all of the lights, like, I'm gonna leave just one on. Actually, oh yeah, let me just do like this. Even when you just have no lights on, it barely works. I mean, it doesn't light up the sword at all. Even if you have it on Megatron's arm to block any excess light, which you can't see, but it's on his arm, all you see is that orb, and you see it's projecting light on my hand. Yeah, it's kind of it's good in theory, but turn all my lights back on. It wasn't executed very well. And it's very odd to see electronics in a Voyager class figure nowadays. And yeah, of course, you can take his little claw and put it on his other hand to give him more of a melee weapon, even though he already has a sword. Still, looks pretty cool. A lot of people were worried, thinking that this was actually his hand, and I could see the concern because it actually does kind of resemble movie Megatron as claws, but good thing comes apart. On to the articulation. The head barely moves side to side, up and down. But I can't really knock it for that because just it's very accurate as far as the design as the head goes. So it just allows for very minimum movement. Shoulders are on a ball joint, and they have a cut in there to allow movement. But to get more elaborate poses, you will have to move these shoulder guards out of the way. But it's not too big of a hassle. Still works pretty well. Basic elbow hinge, a little bit of a wrist just from the transformation. No waist articulation, which is kind of disappointing. And then a ball joint at the hip, and a fair amount of knee. And then, if you really want to get technical, the foot from the transformation. So, articulation on this guy is a little bit lacking, but he just looks so amazing in robot mode that I'm willing to let go. Now, one really cool feature about this figure that I absolutely love, and it just actually, before I get onto it, I'm going to look at the face. It has a very cool looking face. I do wish it was a little bit more defined, because you can barely see his teeth in there. You can see the wrinkles in there, which is, you can kind of see pupils too. But one really cool feature is the translucent purple plastic on him, because as I mentioned before on Primecast, if they made a leader class Prime Megatron figure, I would have loved to have a glow up light, dark energon lights on it. But this is the next closest thing, and this is the time where I really do like light piping, because this figure does it just perfect. And I'll show you what I mean. Now I turned off all my lights except for the one, and his entire body just glows purple, and that is so cool looking. You can see his eyes, his chest, his arms. This is the only time I can think of where I really dug the clear light piping, especially in the eyes and the chest. Everything just looks great on this guy, and I wouldn't have changed it at all. Size comparison time. Since he is a Voyager class figure, I think it would be fair to show him off with some other Voyager class Megatrons, and what I just did. Well, you can't even see him. Pull back a little bit. You can see he is a little bit taller than Dark of the Moon Voyager Megatron, and just overall beefier. And here he is with animated Megatron, and this guy is just a tad bit taller, but and he is overall bigger just because of this ridiculously large cannon. But there we go. So he's a decent sized Voyager class figure. He's a little bit smaller, just because I think of the Powerizer gimmick with the gun. I think just this is a time where I think the size really doesn't matter, because this is just such a great looking figure. Sure, I would have liked it to have been a little bit bigger, like maybe an Ultra class, just so he could just have that edge over Optimus. But he's just, as a Voyager class figure, I'm perfectly happy with him. The only thing I could maybe nitpick about and change are is the Decepticon symbol on the jet mode. I wish that wasn't there, or placed differently or smaller. I don't mind the different color for the toes, knees, and hands. I think that looks okay. Or for the cannon, just maybe I wish they would have did a little bit more detail on the face, because when you get up close to it, it does look a little bit on the dull side. Although I do really like the really huge eyebrows he has. So for a Voyager class figure, this is definitely one of the best Megatron figures to have ever been made, without a doubt. And I give it a perfect 10 out of 10. Especially if you're any kind of Transformers fan, especially of the new TV show, you're going to want to pick this up. I mean, at the price point, at a deluxe or at a Voyager class figure, you can't go wrong with this, because it's not that expensive, and it's such a great toy, and it's brand new. So I think you can't go wrong with him. And of course, this figure is available on BigBadToyStore.com. I put a link in the description, so you can so click the link in the description if you want to purchase them fast, easy, without the stress of going on the hunt, because I know that the hunt can get a little bit old at times. So yeah, great figure. One of my favorite figures of the year so far, even though the year just began. But yeah, this is such a milestone as far as Megatron designs go, and Frank Welker's back as Megatron, so that's also a plus. Alright, until next time, thanks for watching.